Well, hi, everybody. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person, at least at this point in the evening's program. But we're in Washington today. We're still in session, and hopefully Chris and I and Elise will be able to make it to the Chase Center by dessert. So save our seats. Just a big thank you to Rich Heffron for the invitation to give some remarks early in the program. Let me say, I've known Rich since we were both, in our 20s. Not that long. But we have kind of grown up together, and he and I agree on almost everything. And one of the things we agree on is I call them maybe the 3 C's, the need to communicate, cooperate, to collaborate. I'd add another one is civility. He has been a huge help, not just as the leader of the chamber in the last several years, but even before that in earlier roles there, of trying to make sure that we in government are always looking for ways to provide a more nurturing environment for job creation and job preservation. When I was privileged to be your governor, more jobs were created in those 8 years than any 8-year period in the history of the state of Delaware. I did not create one of them. But working with the legislature, Democrats and Republicans, working with the chambers of commerce up and down the state, working with businesses, large and small, working with the environmental community. We found a lot of ways to create jobs, and proud of that effort. It shows what you can do when you work together. People ask me sometimes, little kids ask me sometimes, what do I do? I tell them, I'm a United States Senator. They say, well, what do you do? And I explain I help make the rules for the country. We call them laws. And they say, well, what else do you do? And the other thing that we do is we help people. And the best way you can help somebody is to make sure they have a job, they can support themselves and their family. And the way to make sure that there are jobs is to provide that nurturing environment, a world-class workforce, to make sure that we have people coming out of our colleges, out of our high schools, out of our technical schools with the skills that are needed by businesses in the state of Delaware, businesses large and small, to make sure they have access to capital, to make sure we have a reasonable tax burden, make sure we're developing and adopting common sense regulations, we have access to fairly inexpensive energy, healthcare, all the above. Make sure people have access to, in the business community, have access to folks like us, your servants, your elected leaders. And that's one of the reasons why I think we've enjoyed a fair amount of success in Delaware over the years. We're going through a rough patch right now for our nation, and there's some people who are concerned that we're not going to be able to get through this, but we've been through a lot worse in the past, and we'll get through this as well. I just want to close with this thought, if I could. A friend of mine used to work for us. She used to work also for U.S. Department of Transportation. A woman named Beth Osborne. She used to put it right at the end of her emails. She would have these words: "It's always darkest just before the dawn, and then it gets really, really dark." Think about that. That was tongue in cheek, and she didn't believe that. I didn't believe that either. But 2 years ago, we gathered in a room where you are tonight, and Delaware was reeling. We had just gotten the news that the Dow DuPont merger and what it was going to mean for Delaware. We had 27,000 people who went to work at DuPont the day I was sworn into office as governor in 1993. And Ed Breen, new CEO for DuPont, had just announced 2 years ago that we're going to lose another couple of 1,500 jobs, taking us down to maybe 4,000 jobs at DuPont. We had lost our refinery. We lost our 1,000 jobs. We lost our steel mill up in Claymont. We had lost a GM plant. We lost a Chrysler plant, and we were just reeling. And I said something 2 years ago at the same dinner that when I was a kid growing up, one of my neighbors in West Virginia talked about a pile of manure as a pile of manure in his barnyard, and he would joke with my sister and me and say, "There's a pony underneath that pile of manure." And I said 2 years ago, "We're looking for the pony." And as it turns out, I think the ponies are starting to show up, and some of them are bigger than others. But the fact that the DuPont Ag business is going to be in Delaware, the fact that the specialty products is going to be in Delaware, Ed Breen has moved, I think, very gracefully about $8 billion out of the material sciences business in Michigan, and it's going to be part of the specialty products. And we have FMC coming in to play a much bigger role in Delaware and taking over the Stein-Haskell area. We have Star Campus is an emerging success story. We are starting to put in a multimodal transit center right there at that campus to help grow that business. We're doing a similar kind of thing up in Claymont, where the old Phoenix Steel plant used to be. We still have a great place for people to come and visit. Tourism is strong. The farm industry, the ag industry, particularly with the poultry and corn and soybeans, lima beans and stuff like that, very strong. And we want to continue to help nurture that as well. But I think Delaware is an emerging success story. An emerging success story, and it's not just darkness before the dawn, and it gets really, really dark. I think there's some real bright spots ahead, and for everybody that's working to build on those, to work on those together, it's all for the better. Delaware's a special place. I hope we don't. We'll change over time, but I hope among the things that we never change is our ability to work together, to collaborate, to work for the greater good. And to do that in the best interest of the people that we serve. It's a very special thing. We take it for granted in Delaware. They don't have this in a lot of other states. And hopefully, God willing, we'll be able to continue what we're doing for a long, long time. Again, to Richie and everybody that's part of the chamber, all the businesses that are represented there, thanks for what you do for our state and for the people of Delaware. We're grateful for the jobs that you provide. Look forward to working with you so we'll have a bright, bright future. God bless you. I hope to see you for dessert. Save my seat. Thanks. Bye-bye.